My name is Jeremy Devins, and this is the Quiet Mind Astrology Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about Pluto's transit. And if you want to know how to interpret your own birth chart and interpret all the transits that happen every week, you can go to quietmindastrology.com/101. I'll be hosting the Decode Your Birth Chart live workshop this Sunday. So in just a couple of days from now. And if you catch it later, you can catch the replay. And it's a really awesome class, and you get over 10 hours of extra bonus training as well when you sign up. Lots of cool stuff in there, and worth checking out if you want to understand yourself better and understand others better. So today we're talking about one of the major transits of the year, and that is Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, and that's coming from May 2nd to October 12th for about 5.5 months. Every year this happens. Pluto goes retrograde about 5.5 months. So it's not the biggest deal when it does, but it does happen regularly, and it has a huge impact on a lot of areas of life. So we're going to go sign by sign today. So you'll want to know your own rising and moon sign to understand this better for yourself. And the major dates to look out for are Pluto in Capricorn from February 24th, 2020, all the way till March 4th, 2039, and then it will go retrograde, so it'll be there till 2040. So that's the big picture, what the transit that we're in of Pluto in Capricorn, which happened last during the American and French revolutions. So it takes a long time for Pluto to go through a full transit through all of the 12 signs, and it hasn't happened since the American Revolution around 1770s. So we're seeing big transformation, big shifts of power, big reformations in government and structures and systems all across the world. On a personal level, this time is also showing us where we can transform, where we can be in different relationship to our own power dynamics and grow in ourselves. And now as Pluto goes retrograde in Capricorn in Uttarashada, right now, May 2nd to October 12th, it's a good time for introspection, purging, realignment, and time to look at what is really true for us now in our deeper parts of our psyche and ourselves. Then, of course, it will have this shadow period where it's now going back over those parts of the sky from October 12th to March 23rd. So it's time to adjust, reflect, prepare for the fully forward movement of Pluto that was paused on May 2nd, 2024, and then it resumes on March 23rd, 2025. So some areas of our own personal growth may be paused, and we need to go inward. We need to go back over some things and clear some things up so we can really move forward in our own relationship to power, transformation, growth, the deeper psychology of ourselves after March 23rd, 2025. So in this time between then, it's for going inward, for looking over these things, for viewing these things, and to having deeper insights into ourselves. And of course, if you want to get your own free birth chart, go to quietmindastrology.com. You can get your own chart. You'll see where your ascendant, AS, and moon, MO, are placed. Like in the example I have on the video is ascendant's in Virgo, moon is in Cancer. So you listen to the sign-by-sign interpretations for Virgo and Cancer in that case, or whatever your ascendant and moon are. But first, I want to talk about the broader perspective of this transit. And again, if you want to go deeper into your own birth chart, the 101 course is the way to do that. But broader into the transit is looking at all the major themes for everybody, starting with just a sense of deep transformation. So what does Pluto represent? Well, it's the deities associated with it is Yama, the Lord of Death, and this underworld. So when we work with Pluto energies, wherever it is in our charts, we're going into the deeper parts of ourselves. And these transits of going back into these deeper parts can bring profound inner changes, particularly around learning to be in greater integrity in our lives and using power responsibly. So power, yama, is restraint. So if you practice yoga, you know the yamas and niyamas. Yama, the Lord of Death, is also the word for restraint. When we're practicing restraint and discipline and structure in ourselves, and doing that intentionally and skillfully and with integrity, then we can have all the positive benefits that we want in life, like better health, better longevity, all sorts of benefits around just our work and our finances, our career, by having the sense of restraint and integrity. So this is a time where we can go back into where we're out of integrity or where we're not practicing discipline and could use some more discipline in our lives, more restraint, so that we can have the things that we want. If you want to have a certain level of body fat, you have to practice restraint with your diet. If you want to have a certain level of like clarity and focus and awareness, you have to practice restraint with your routine so you get enough sleep. Or if you want to have overall health and vitality, being disciplined with your lifestyle choices, right? So all these things require some level of awareness of yama. And when we practice this awareness, this is really beneficial in Capricorn, of having restraint in our structures and our routines and disciplines in our lives so that we can be on the inevitable path to having the things that we want. And with Capricorn energy, it rewards patience and hard work and perseverance. So you may have a certain income goal that may seem high or unlikely in the near future, but if you set up the structures and systems in your life to make that inevitable, and it becomes inevitable. And it might require a lot of restraint and restriction in the near term, but in the long term, it could make that outcome inevitable. So this is a time where we're going into ourselves and learning where we are out of integrity, where we could use some deeper sense of restraint and transformation in our lives, of letting things go, of focusing on what we do want so that we can move towards what we want to have. And the second major theme is a reevaluation of power dynamics. So it's time to reevaluate how power and authority are wielded both personally and societally. Now, societally, this is going to have big implications on changes in structures and governments. And we've seen that since Pluto entered Capricorn in 2020, with things like defund the police and changes of governments and structures and the WHO and stuff like that on a global scale. But on a personal level, this is a time to look at how you are as an authority for yourself first, of just managing your time and energy and your money and your resources. And then if you influence or lead others as well, how you impact others. If you have any sort of role as a parent or a leader in your work, or people who you are responsible for in your life, it's time to reevaluate how you're using your time, energy, resources, and if that is in integrity for you. And this is an opportunity to have systems and structures and things in our lives be more in integrity, more in alignment, having deeper implications for growth and transformation. Great time for introspection, doing inner work, journaling, therapy, any sort of therapeutic work, finding areas that require transformation, especially those related to control and power dynamics. And if you're somebody who is in control a lot and you have a lot of control in your life, it's maybe a time to look at places where you can let go more, by delegating, asking for help, receiving therapies, receiving help and support, guidance, mentorship, going for a massage or something like that, where you are just letting go and in the receptive mode. Especially if you're parents, that you may have this sense of being responsible all the time and taking care of others. Or if you're in a high management position in your job, responsibility for a lot of people and a lot of outcomes. Having spaces in your life where you can be irresponsible, where you can let go, where you can surrender, where you can relax and go from the more masculine role to the more feminine role, or from the yang to the more yin role in your life, at least in moments, can be really beneficial during this time to find where you balance that out more. The fourth major theme is heightened responsibility for those in authority, which I've spoken to a bit here. But there's a greater impact from people in authority during this whole transit of 20 years. And again, we're seeing that on the global scale of governments. But for internally, on a personal level, there's an opportunity to have a greater sense and awareness of your responsibility and act justly. And likely you will face challenges really over this whole 20-year cycle, but now over this 5 months and really the 10 months of this whole shadow period, that you are coming against issues that you maybe thought were resolved, and now you need to go back over them and rehash them, and being more intentional and integrity with your roles of responsibility. and finding challenges that you have to evaluate, like, what do you really want? How do you want to manage your time, energy, resources, and money, and managing others, and be more intentional with that. The fifth major theme is uncovering secrets. Hidden truths and secrets are revealed during these transits, both personally and collectively, and maybe even things that are secret to yourself, like doing through introspective work or therapy or things like that. You will find things that you didn't know were driving you, motivations, unconscious drivers, and beliefs. And when we work with Pluto, we're working with the subconscious. And a great metaphor you may have heard of the rider and the elephant, right? Our conscious thinking awake mind is the rider of an elephant, which is our unconscious mind, which are the things that we don't know until we uncover them through things like therapeutic work. And unconscious motivations that we don't know are there, that are the elephant of, like, if we say, I don't want to eat sugary foods, but we just keep ending up eating sugary foods, that's the elephant, the subconscious part of ourselves that maybe believes, well, I deserve it, and I don't want to suffer, and I want to enjoy food, and I want to enjoy life, so I'm going to do what I want, and I'm going to eat the sugary foods, even though the conscious mind says, well, I don't want to eat that because I don't like how I feel afterwards, or whatever the thing is. That's just one example. But during this time, you can uncover in yourself, through healing work, parts of yourself that are unconsciously driving you. Like, why do you keep repeating this pattern? Why does this thing keep happening? Why does this same dynamic keep playing out in relationships, or in career, or with finances? This retrograde time invites us to look inward and go back and uncover these deeper patterns that we may have been unconscious of. The sixth major theme is there's potential for resistance to change. So when you uncover these things and you know you need to change them, that can be hard, easier said than done. And that can mean changing major structures in your life with Capricorn energy. So where you have this resistance to change, it becomes more obvious, and it gives you major opportunities to grow and let go and create new paths of neural pathways in your brain, but new opportunities in your life as well, new experiences. And the resistance can arise here where you feel like you consciously may want to make a change and think it sounds good, but the elephant, the subconscious part of yourself, is not going to do it. Just like a rider on an elephant, you could say you want to go left, but if the elephant wants to go right, it's going to be hard to stop them. So there's this need for a relationship to happen there, right? So the deeper the relationship is between the rider and the elephant, the more they can work together. So the deeper the relationship is between your conscious mind and your unconscious mind, the more you can work together to actually make the changes that you want. So if you're finding yourself wanting to make a change, aware of a change, it's, why am I not changing? What is happening here? Then this is the opportunity to do the deeper work through therapy, journaling, meditation, introspection, time in nature, yoga, these kind of things. Just the most obvious ones of like where you are clearly out of alignment, like you know you don't like this, like maybe some habit or some pattern, you just know you can let that one go, and you start there, and you start with the little things. Or you know you want to change this or change that, start with the simple things, and then eventually you can work up to those bigger things. Number 7 is redefining goals. So there's an opportunity to redefine your ambitions, your goals, making them more aligned with your true values. And this is a big part of the Uttarashada theme of like, what is an integrity? What do you value? What is authentic to you? What are your beliefs? What do you stand for? And the symbol, of course, with the elephant symbolism with Uttarashada, is also part of, very potent with all of this. So there's an opportunity to clarify, again, what do you want? What are you moving towards? Why do you want it? And is there something that you wanted before that you've changed your mind? Now you know you don't want this and you do want that. It's a great opportunity to get to those deeper drives and connect with those. Number 8, major theme, is the end of outdated systems. So this time supports the destruction of obsolete systems and beliefs, paving the way for new structures more relevant to your current needs. So again, if it's time for it to end, it's time for it to end. In the same way, back in the 1770s, it was time for the old way of governance to end in the US and in France, and they had the American and French revolutions at those times. So on a global level, we see that major changes needed in the governments, but on a personal level, what is the time to change and let go for yourself? It will become more and more tense. There'll be more and more friction internally until you can address these things during this transit. So the easier way is actually to make the change when you know it's time to change. In the same way, it can be as simple as like you need to go to the bathroom, so you get up and go to the bathroom. This kind of stuff happens on a deeper level. It's like it's time to change this part of your life, so you just change it, right? It sounds easy to say, but it can be as simple as thinking of it that way. Like if you need to go to the bathroom and you hold it in, it becomes more and more discomforting, and it can create all sorts of health issues later on if you do that repetitively. So you need to make this action. Your body's having this physical response. You know it's time to make a change. So you just do it and you make the change. And that will be difficult at times. It's not as simple as just going to the bathroom, but it may be uncomfortable. It may change you. It will change you. It may be very challenging, but you can do it. And this is part of this energy. It needs to change. It needs to uproot these systems. It needs to create this upheaval. It's part of the turning of the wheel of time, that it is time to change these things. And what they will be, well, we'll look at that individually in a moment. But first, I just want to touch on the shadow period of this. So from October 12th to March 23rd, Pluto retrograde, it will be in the shadow period where it's retracing that part of the sky that it was in previously. So it's time to now reflect on the changes that you've made and reflect on the transformations that occurred during the retrograde and understand how these changes have impacted you and what further adjustments might be necessary. It's a time to consolidate and solidify any gains or positive changes you made during the retrograde. And it could be reinforcing new habits, securing achievements, or continuing to apply new insights in your daily life. So you maybe made a change, you had some growth from that, and now you sort of reinforce it, making new habits, making it part of your life. Number three, part of the shadow period, October 12th to March 23rd, is just continuing to let go of outdated beliefs, habits, unwanted patterns that were highlighted during the retrograde. Further purging can facilitate smoother transitions into new phases of life. Number 4 is a plan forward. So using the insights gained to plan your future steps. So this might involve setting new goals, modifying existing ones. Around October 12th is a decision point where now you've gone through the retrograde. Now you're starting to move forward. So what have you learned? What do you want to take forward from that time? And then number 5 is time to heal and rejuvenate. So engage in activities that promote healing and rejuvenation. It could be meditation, therapy, massage, body work, yoga, or just simply taking time for self-care to restore your energy, taking a bath, napping, sleeping more, to balance after the tumultuous times that you may have experienced before October 12th in that retrograde time. So now we're going to go through all the rising and moon signs. So listen to both your rising and moon sign to know the major areas of life that are affected for you during this transit. So for Aries, ascendant and moon, this brings major transformation in your career. So you can reassess your long-term goals and career path during this time. Could have some power struggles with superiors and authority figures, butting heads as the rams do. You may discover deeper sources of personal power and leadership, stepping into more of your entrepreneurial gifts, your leadership gifts. It's time to learn to let go of controlling outcomes in your professional life and be able to let go and go with the changing of things as needed. It's a time to lay the groundwork for new career strategies post-retrograde and set up new structures in your life and change things that are no longer working for you. For Taurus, rising and moon, there's major philosophical shifts during this time, rethinking your beliefs and understanding of the world. And your education can be revisited here, where you're going back into learning things that you've learned in the past, revising your educational goals, considering returning to studies or things that you've gotten really deep into in the past that you want to go deeper with. Legal matters could come up during this time where you need to address any lingering legal issues and resolve them and take care of things internally that need to be like organized, set up in your structures and your routines in your life so that you can better manage these kind of external enemy issues that might come up in your life. Delays or changes in travel plans might require reevaluation and adjustment during this time. So it's a time where if you are traveling, that make sure you double check everything. Expanding horizons. So it's a time to explore deeper meanings in life, possibly through spiritual or philosophical growth with a teacher, with guides, with philosophies that you resonate with, and books and spiritual communities, things like that. For Gemini, rising and moon, this can bring about intense communications where you need to have some deep transformative conversations that can change your perspectives or relationships. This might be in relationships, it might be with coaches, might be with guides, mentors, therapists, and your sibling relationships. Possible challenges or transformative events and relationships with siblings or close peers can come up at this time. And if it's not siblings, then it's just like your kind of communications that you're having with people throughout your life in general. Could be some mental strain, like increased mental pressure to mean this is a time to be more introspective and think through and resolve inner conflicts that are happening. Learning from the past, you can reflect on past decisions that can lead to deep personal growth for you. So a time for going back through the structures that you've created in your life, the decisions that you've made, and how you've set up the structures in your life. This is the time where you can have great insights in your network, in your social circles, and the influences that it has on your life, and that you may want to change your social circles or reconnect with people or connect with new people. For Cancer, rising and moon, this can be a deeply transformational time emotionally, where you have deep emotional introspection that can lead to purging out outdated emotional attachments and beliefs. And if there's some way you're holding on to old ways of being, old friendships, old connections that or old emotions that haven't been processed, this is a time where you can process those things. Family power dynamics may surface, requiring careful handling and possibly leading to changes in your home life. So renegotiating, reevaluating structures around family, parents, children, siblings, spouses. Financial reassessment. It's a good time to reassess your financial security and dependencies, particularly related to your family or your home, and potentially changing some of those structures around your finances in your life. A time to strengthen your inner foundations by addressing any deep-seated insecurities or fears under the surface for you. There's potential for transforming intimate relationships through deeper emotional connections, and you can have some really deepened intimacy with your romantic partners through deeper connection and deeper personal growth together and having a deeper understanding of each other. But there may be some necessary changes to get to that. So changing structures or habits to create that deeper connection. For Leo, rising and moon, a good time to harness transformative energy to reinvent creative projects or artistic expressions in your life. So you can really have a new perspective of your creative expression, the projects that you have in your life, the ways that you express yourself. Your romantic life might undergo some deep changes, potentially strengthening or challenging your existing bonds. Childhood issues can reemerge and require resolution or understanding. This is true for everyone in this transit, but particularly for you, where doing deep therapeutic kind of work can really bring up some deeper inner child healing that is necessary and can be very profound for you. Your approach to leadership can be tested at this time, leading to significant personal growth. So if there's something that's out of integrity or alignment in how you're leading and serving others, and it starts with how you're leading yourself, then this needs to be addressed at this time, but it can be really transformational. A time to find new ways to express your true self, shedding old personas that no longer fit, and letting old identities, old ways of being, old things that you're attached to fall away. For Virgo, rising and moon, there's major transformations in your work, and this could involve power struggles or shifts in responsibilities and learning to delegate more, let go of responsibilities more, and changing in your roles of how you're helping and serving others, getting to the deeper meaning and reason for why you're doing the work you do. It's a good period for introspection regarding health and potentially uncovering hidden issues or necessary changes in your lifestyle. So, great time to go deeper into your practices, daily routines, yoga, meditation, spiritual practices, and being more consistent in those and uncovering ways that you've been out of alignment there. A time to reevaluate how you serve others. Transformations can occur in areas related to altruism or volunteer work. If you have opportunities to donate, volunteer, help others more, this could be very healing and powerful for you. It's a time to optimize your daily routines for better efficiency and personal well-being. So now you can get into more organization, more structure in your daily life, and more ways of aligning with your routines and values around like yoga practices, meditation practices, spiritual practices, so that it can help enhance your overall like better understanding of yourself and the management of the resources of yourself and others. A great time to focus on deep internal healing processes, possibly revisiting old wounds for closure and getting deeper understanding of your patterns. For Libra rising and moon, it's a great time to reevaluate your social circles and find community that better aligns with you. And if there's something out of alignment in communities that you might want to change those things. And you can possibly transform your social connections, focusing on more genuine and meaningful relationships. Partnership dynamics can come up at this time. So existing partnerships, both business and personal, can face transformative pressures that test their foundations. And a great time for artistic transformation. So using this period to dive deep into your artistic side, possibly transforming your creative approach and your creative expression. And you can have deeper parts of yourself come out through your artistic expression. You may find that through expressing yourself in art that you uncover deeper understandings of your expression and your artistic side and your deeper subconscious beliefs and motivations. Challenges related to justice and fairness can arise, requiring careful navigation and being in integrity. You will find yourself in efforts to maintain balance that are tested, so leading to more robust methods of achieving personal harmony. So if things are out of balance, out of integrity, out of alignment, then this time shows you those misalignments so that you can better restore balance, restore harmony, and have a stronger sense of maintaining that. So fortifying those ways that you do create harmony and balance in your life. For Scorpio, this can be an intense period of self-discovery and transformation, challenging your core beliefs and behaviors. There's increased interest in uncovering secrets and exploring mysteries personally, professionally, globally, and you can uncover some really deep stuff that can help you better understand your motivations and others' motivations. Deep changes in how you manage power and control in your relationships are necessary at this time. It's time to reassess and transform your financial strategies, especially those related to your investments and shared resources, where you may find that this is an opportunity to be more financially in integrity and uncover financial unconscious beliefs and patterns that have been driving. An opportunity here for psychological regeneration and renewal, and through deeper psychological work, you may find that you better understand yourself, you renew yourself, you have deeper awareness, you have deeper reinvigoration, more energy, more inspiration. So obviously for Scorpio, all the time doing this kind of deep work is valuable, but especially during this retrograde time, really powerful, especially for doing deeper unconscious kind of belief work and uncovering those patterns. And you may find yourself like you're in a new phase of life, especially at the end of this retrograde point, where you renewed and re-energized. For Sagittarius, rising and moon, a wonderful time for philosophical growth and deep reflection on your life philosophy, leading to significant shifts in your outlook and your perspective on things. This is the time to reevaluate desire for travel and exploration, possibly leading to transformative journeys in your life. And you can have some deep insights and introspection that lead to places that you want to go to, where those places can lead to deep insights for you. Possible changes in your educational goals or methods, seeking deeper understanding or truth that comes to light here, where you better understand yourself and others, and you want to reevaluate your own beliefs and your own values, and this can have big implications for every area of life. A time to address any sort of legal issues or matters or ethical matters in your life that you want to realign what is really important to you and how you want to assess these things. Potential of integrating new cultural insights into your worldview, expanding your sense of connection to the world and to others. So this can be a time where you just learn a lot about new perspectives and new ideas, and that you do that through deep introspection and deep soul searching of like what you really value, and having that perspective of others can really help you understand yourself. For Capricorn rising and moon, this can be a profound reassessment of your own career goals and paths, with potential for power shifts at your work, and times where you want to reassess like what you really value and how you want to be living and your career and your purpose. And are you in alignment with your purpose and your values, and what kind of career really aligns with who you are internally? It's time to reevaluate a relationship with authority, both your own and that of others, which will lead to structural changes. You might need to have some difficult conversations with people who you are accountable to and who are an authority in your life, that you want to adjust those relationships and power dynamics. And you also may need to adjust the power dynamics that you are creating for others in your life. Time to reflect on how you're perceived publicly, with potential for transformation of your public image and reputation. Considering the long-term impact and legacy you wish to leave, which can lead to transformative actions and wanting to change the way that you are moving in the trajectory of your life in your career. So you may find that you want to have a certain legacy or impact or financial outcome in the future, or own property, or have this kind of relationship, or raise children, or have family. So thinking long-term, in the long-term structure of your life, what you want to create, how are you moving towards that now, and what is not in integrity of moving towards that? There's an enhanced focus on your own discipline and responsibility, redefining your approach to challenges and obstacles that you face. So this is a time where you may need to change your morning routines, your lifestyle, some habits that you have that are more, to make them more in alignment with the vision that you have. For Aquarius rising and moon, a great time to embrace transformative ideas that challenge the status quo, leading to significant personal and communal changes. This is a time where you can really reevaluate the deeper subconscious beliefs in yourself, and in your dreams you can have profound insights, and things come up from the past that need to be healed at this time, leading to new approaches to things. It's a time to reevaluate your role within community and how you contribute to societal changes. And if you are serving in community and structures and societies in the way that you really feel is in integrity and alignment and with your values. There's potential transformative changes in how you interact with technology and use it to advance your goals, especially with all the developments in technology in the last few years, making it easier than ever to serve people around the world, to help people. You can use these resources to better serve those ends, where you can use online platforms and technology to communicate with others, to help others, to serve others with a website, podcast, YouTube, blogs, these kind of online resources now, with the intent of sharing your ideas, of helping others, of serving this broader, bigger collective goals that you feel called towards. Power dynamics within groups or organizations that you're part of can shift, requiring a reassessment of your involvement. And it's a time to refine your long-term visions, ensuring they align with your deepest truths and values. For Pisces rising and moon, this is a time for deep spiritual introspection that leads to transformative personal revelations and growth. So, as always, there's this deep spiritual element of Pisces ascendant and moon, but there's a time where you want to do this deeper work, because it can really lead to major changes and shifts that you want to make in your life. It's time to explore and transform your own artistic and creative expressions, delving deeper into your own subconscious. A time for letting go of outdated emotional baggage, making room for new emotional experiences. And this one may be challenging, and you may feel conflicted of how to do that. And that's where your intuition can be such a good guide, and having some sort of structures in place in your life to do this and routines. But it can be difficult to make those shifts, and can feel conflicted, especially if you're weighing multiple people's opinions and judgments in this. Compassion and healing. So this transformative period is possible to bring in major healing and transformation in yourself, and have more compassion for yourself and others. And giving and receiving and helping others, this can all deeply impact your relationships. So it's a time where you're going to go through a lot of growth and a lot of deep internal kind of stuff. And it's going to be very watery. Like for Pisces, already quite watery and sometimes difficult to express or clarify or pin down how you feel or what you think. With all of this Pluto energy and Capricorn, it's also quite difficult to pin down exactly what the thing is or what you want or what the deeper underlying issue is. So being compassionate with yourself is very important during this, not needing to rush the process, not needing to have it pinned down and be so concrete all the time, but to kind of be in that flow, in that unknown, in the mystery of it. Swimming in the waters of the emotions is okay, but also giving compassion to yourself and to others, receiving compassion and support from others can be very helpful. Your dreams may become more intense and revealing at this time, offering guidance and insights into your waking life. So this is a great time for you to be aware of your dreams and your insights and that are coming through that, and maybe dream journaling. And through deep meditation practices also, you can have some profound things shifting, profound insights coming through in all of that. So next week, we'll be going through the June 2024 horoscope, talking about how we can work with all the energies going on throughout next month with this underlying current now for the next 5.5 months of Pluto being retrograde in Capricorn, in this time for deep evaluation, deep insights, deep revelations of deeper patterns, secrets, unconscious things, and on a personal level, those deeper parts of ourselves internally that we're working through. And we'll talk about the shifts going on next month of the new moon, the full moon, the other planetary transits, and how to work with all those. And if you want to know how to work with all the energies in your own chart and better understand yourself in all areas of your life, that's what we'll be doing at the quietmindastrology.com/101 link, which is Decode Your Birth Chart, the Vedic Astrology 101 workshop, live on Zoom this Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And if you miss it, you can get the replay. And you also get over 10 hours of bonus resources, lots of cool stuff in there to understand yourself. So you'll come out of that knowing how to look at your chart and how to say, okay, I've got this planet, this sign, this is what it means, and understand yourself on a deeper level. So when you go through all the ups and downs of all the transits every week that we all go through, you know how those how to better work with those, and how those influence you, and how those fit in the big picture of who you are and what you are doing in your life. So lots of cool stuff in there. I love offering this. It's the first time I've offered it this year, so you can check it out now. quietmindastrology.com/101. And if you enjoyed the podcast, leave a review on Apple Podcasts, leave a rating on Spotify, follow on YouTube for the videos, follow on Instagram for the funny memes. And I look forward to sharing more with you next time on the Quiet Mind Astrology podcast.